Welcome to the Lighthome Sustainable Design podcast series. We talk with the architects and builders about green design and homes that really suit the way we love to live.
Today we're talking to Craig Riddle, owner and managing director at Living Green Designer Homes. So I wanted to talk to you today about the house up on the north coast at Sapphire Beach. Firstly, how did the project come about in terms of what kind of brief did you get from the client?
Our brief was to build a sustainable and contemporary modern looking home on a fairly constrained block. And I know we were approached because they'd seen a couple of houses we'd done up in the region, and they were really impressed and also had seen that we'd won a few awards. So that was the original contact.
Okay. So in terms of then thinking about the design solution, what was the process from there? And I guess the other thing I'm interested in was, were there any challenges that you had to deal with?
Yeah, look, the design process, as usual, is their brief for the size of the home and what they would like to the home to deliver to them, even right down to, car accommodation, socially barbecue areas, that sort of thing. So we got the whole brief, and there were certainly some challenges. It was a very narrow site, and we had to build from both side boundaries really tight. And due north was out the front, which really did constrain all the solar passive ideas that we love to put into the home.
So what was your solutions to managing those circumstances, and in particular, the narrow block and the direction?
Sure. Okay. I guess lots of things come from those desires from the owner, but we had to maximise the solar gain in winter and get to that northerly sun. And again, that was the frontage. So we knew that we had to deliver the living areas to the front, and also their outdoor living area, which is a covered barbecue area. So they really dictated the start of the design, and of course we flowed on from there right down to the rear, which was the south, where we were able to put the car accommodation because they had rear loading access there. In
terms of kind of looking at the solution as well, did you draw on any inspiration yourself when you were coming up with the ideas? How it was going to work?
Yeah, look, probably they were right next to the beach. They're opposite a walkway onto the beach. They wanted that beachy modern feel. They wanted to feel like their beach house. So we were drawn to the water, and of course, again, the sun. So when I spoke to the owner, he's in the landscaping business. He had told me that he wanted to put some ponds and water out the front. So that it created itself around those ponds and the northerly aspect, which really come together well.
What were some of the environmental features then that became part of the project?
Sure. Well, we always start, and this one was a key one, where we started with solar passive design principles, trying to get some thermal mass in there. It was a absolutely dead flat block of land. It looked like a bowling green. So we put it on a concrete slab, which achieved the thermal mass for us really well. We got lots of solar access to heat that in winter, and we're able just to get enough shading to keep all the summer sun out. And after that, we went for a full lightweight construction, and that was driven by environmental reasons, just so that we could go with timber frame and ease of construction and speed of construction. We were able to manufacture a lot of the home components in a factory, get it up there on one truck and get it locked up within 8 working days, and save lots of travel time, lots of emissions in the materials. And yeah, we certainly believe in lightweight adds up to a lower emissions in the built form and delivers a really high performance house. So they're some of the things we set out to achieve, and we were able to.
Okay. So yeah, I was going to ask you about the lightweight construction materials. Was the decision to use those purely environmental and cost?
Well, I think they're the main two. The owner had seen that we'd used them before and was absolutely in love with them, and we were able to show him that we could deliver it quickly, on budget, and it certainly looked to his way of thinking more appealing than any of the standard brick homes in the area. So it wasn't a hard sell. He, in fact, sort of indicated to us that he believed it had the best appearance. So when we added the lower emissions and the lightweight story behind that, he was absolutely wrapped. And just the speed of construction probably makes it enough reason to use it, even despite the others. So it went up really quickly, looked great. And again, we've done some calculations and looked at the embodied emissions, and certainly the way the lightweight cladding from Hardie's are made, and it's environmentally friendly. It's got some really natural products through it, so it all added up.
Okay, so what were the specific materials that were chosen then? You mentioned timber.
Yeah, look, timber frame, as we're all beginning to know now, if we read the magazine, it stores carbon while it's being used, so it's low in embodied energy to create because it's a naturally resource, and has very limited sort of processing and stores the carbon again. And then we looked at Hardie's Sky range for the external cladding. We looked at the material makeup, and it's from sand, water, and wood pulp, and a small part of cement. So it's got some mostly naturally based materials. It won't rot. It doesn't move. The painting products that we use give us a 15-year guarantee. So it's durable. It looks amazing, and it's very modern. So it's just really quick and easy to use, and it has all those benefits.
Do you think that you could have got, the same type of design result and construction result if you had used heavyweight materials?
Look, I think that site was really restrictive in space. We could not have used solid brick or masonry external walls. We just wouldn't have had the side boundary room for scaffolding and movement. So the short answer is no. The reality is we could have got a similar look with a render, lots more wet trays, lots more emissions, a lot slower, and certainly not the result that the owner was after. So I don't believe so, no. I'm sure we could argue long and hard and got it close, but it wouldn't have been the budget or the speed of construction.
Yeah. How long did the build take?
8 weeks.
Okay, that's pretty fast.
Yeah.
So, environmental sustainability principles are obviously something that's important to your company. Is that, kind of what it has been founded on?
I suppose close to. It certainly is a key to what we've been learning about, and it just becomes an easy sell when we educate our clients. I think all of us want to be environmentally responsible. We don't want to pay through the nose, but I think what we do by using lightweight materials is just show to them you can achieve not only the look, but you can speed the construction, and it's cheaper and not have as big a draw on the environment. So it sells itself once you learn about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think this is the, kind of way of the future as well?
I certainly do. I think the federal government, with lots of talk about a carbon tax, and again, I think the environment is imprinted on all our minds. So yeah, I do.
Yeah. Okay, great. So just thinking about the house now, what was your favourite feature of it?
Probably the relationship of the living room with the garden ponds or the water features out the front. It's just a real joy. We put a massive door across the front, so in winter you can open it and you actually get water reflection into the main living area. So it's really pleasant.
Okay. And what about the client? Were they happy with the result, and what kind of feedback have you had from them?
Yeah, look, it's been far better than we hoped. He's really impressed about the winter, the way the thermal mass was heating up, and that it actually really kept the house at a beautiful temperature. Obviously, he was comparing it to his last home up there, and I'm not sure how that was built or when, but it was just a really, really positive feedback. He really enjoyed it.
So thinking about the environmental sustainability features again, do you think this kind of house is, built this way and suited to our Australian climate?
I think it is. Look, you've just got to be careful. In Australia, there are different climatic regions, and you've got to be a little bit mindful whether you need more cooling or heating and where you're actually building. I believe with lightweight you can achieve everything that's required in all the climatic regions, but you've just got to be aware of your heating and cooling loads, and therefore that equals your operational energy costs. in some areas you've really got to beef up the insulation to just make sure you're well protected. But again, because of the cost benefits, you can put those things in and achieve a real low operational energy cost quite easily. So it's a learning curve that we're trying to pass knowledge on to our clients and deliver them a house that's more flexible and actually performs. And I find with full lightweight, we can make it almost interactive. People can open and close it and it's flexible. Our lightweight external walls will rate as good as anything in any climatic zone. And the beauty of lightweight construction to me is that without the thermal mass facing the external wall surface, you can control it. And by that I mean with brick veneer or double brick, once it's got the heat, it's very slow to dissipate. So lightweight you can control and know what it's doing. Brick has a mind of its own, and to give you an example, when a brick wall heats up, it takes 4 times as long to dissipate as it did to gain the heat. So you can't control it.
With the roof, look, the images that I've seen so far, it's got quite a distinctive kind of shape to it. In the design, when you were working on the design of the house, what was the background that led to this design?
We've got a split roof, which are 2 skirting roofs coming to the centre, and we wanted to put a higher pitch so that we had a couple of highlight windows facing due east over the beach. That gives us the early morning light and a bit more heating in winter, and obviously that's where the natural breezes come from. So we can open those and then open some windows opposite and get that solar passive cooling loads happening pretty quick. Yeah, so the solar passive design principles dictated the roof shape really.
Okay, fantastic. And other elements in this house that you would look at incorporating in future projects?
I think from our company's point of view, we start with all these principles anyway, and the designs are really dictated in the first instance by North and the local breezes and aspects. So we look at those and listen to the client's brief and try and bring them together, and then just add a little bit more knowledge of products and how they want to interact with the outdoors. And for our team of designers, they tend to almost design it themselves. If you add in those environmental issues, it almost is mathematical and it works itself out. But we're there to guide it and know how the materials work, the insulation values, and we like to do a study then and look at the operational energy costs and make sure the home is going to perform at a really affordable price but work well.
In terms of cost effectiveness, that's another advantage that you can obtain from using lightweight construction materials?
Oh, absolutely. So certainly there's a great cost advantage in the construction process. And then again, once you're in the home and you've got to heat or cool it, there's lots of flexibility and you can be in control. And that's a real key to the future and the main reason I believe in lightweight construction.
I've had a look at the website. You've got quite an impressive list of awards over the past little while.
There we have.
It must be a good testament, I guess, to the type of work that you're doing.
Yeah, it is. I guess like anyone that gets awards, you certainly don't set out to get them, and they have started to come in the last few years, and we've been on this path for nearly 10 years. So yeah, it is nice to get it, and we did win quite a substantial environmental award this year, so it's great.
Yeah, especially if it's been your kind of focus and direction for 10 years, and it seems like the rest of, or some of the rest of the industry is only really maybe starting to take a look at it.
Yeah, it's possibly the case. It's always a bit of fun for me to help people realise that sustainability is actually affordability. And one of my favourite sayings now is you can't spend money to buy sustainability, because if you want to truly be sustainable, don't do anything. So it's just a matter of understanding the mess we're creating, the damage that we do, and minimising it and working with it. So I'd love to think that's what our company brings to clients.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
No worries.